Good morning, good morning. This is Ryan. I love the work. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the recording process. Let me get some light. We're going to talk about how we record and how we want to record, the whole process and all that. Getting a bit of a late start this morning. Doing some minor adjustments here and there. You know what I'm saying. You know, the reason I'm late is because I was recording. Isn't that perfect? So, let's see what the wheel has for us. Boop, 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 boop. But I got coffee, so it's all good. Your time now was my time then. Hell yeah. So, Badooda. Trying to get some levels over here, kids. Boop, boop, boop. Your time now is my time now. Last song on self-titled album. Thank you very much. It was one I wrote on keyboard, and kind of struggled to record the part. There's a lot of movement. I'm more of a guitar player than I am a keyboard player, and I recorded it on my digital. I'm trying to think if I tried to double it on a real. I did. I recorded it on a real Wurlitzer as well. And Matt, when he mixed it together, I think he mixed the two. Maybe I didn't. No, I'm thinking of King of Cool. And but I did borrow a DX7 for this one to get some of the tinkly higher sounds. And yeah, that's the cover there. I never point the right way. And did a bunch of vocals. Luckily, I didn't feel like they were super in tune, but luckily I was able to take my whole vocal group, which was a whole stack of harmonies, and put them in Melodyne. And when I tuned him with Melodyne, it tuned the whole thing, and it sounded good. You know, I didn't know if it would be able to tune all those things at once, and luckily it did. I'm trying to think what other instruments are on there. There's a little bit of a solo break, which I used the new Mellotron on, the digital Mellotron, with a couple saxophone sounds. I remember hearing it at work, and or maybe playing with it a little bit, and I got to the tenor saxophone, and I was like, wow, that sounds really good. I thought it was a really good tenor saxophone sound. You know, I wouldn't say it's the most expressive instrument, but just the tonality of the instrument was cool. And I like the fact that it only has a few sounds, so you work with what you get instead of getting into that place where you have so many options that you're kind of paralyzed and you just don't do anything. You know, you wind up just looking through all your different sounds, and then you just, when you don't find something you like, you keep looking for more sounds. But so I like that about the Mellotron, is that it's fairly limited in terms of how many sounds it has. So layered up a couple saxophones for the solo. I'm trying to think what else is in there. A nice fat sub bass that Matt brought out and just made it so massive. I'm going to play that for you, because I love how it came out. This is the last song on the album. Oh, whoops, I must not be paired. Oh, there she goes. Your time now was my time then. I don't think I'm what you think I am. You say weird things. Your time now was my time then. Yeah, so that was the Yamaha Digital, the P115 and the Yamaha DX7. I think that's why I did it. Now that I'm thinking of it, that on the Yamaha, on my digital keyboard, the P115, it had a piano sound called EX Piano or DX Piano, and I think it referred to a DX7. It referred to basically a digital version of a Rhodes sound electric piano, but it a digital version of it. And so because I had access to the actual DX7, I was like, well, let me use that and I'll see how that sounds. And in my hands, it didn't sound full enough to me, so we layered the both together. And I freaking hate the sound of my voice and the way I sang. I don't know how to overcome that. I'll figure it out, but right now I don't fucking know. Alive, that's one we did at Baked Beans, and of course in my mind the vocal is the only weak link. I might I don't know if I should bring it down into a lower register of my voice, or what, if I need to figure out how to bring the sauce and bring the heat. I don't know. I don't know. Let me pick another. See if we get new subscribers. No, I know I don't. Recording process. At least I got the title right. I kept forgetting to update the title for a couple broadcasts in a row. Someday soon. We haven't recorded this one yet. It's a good song. No. It's on Bikini and Cowboy. We haven't recorded it since then, but it's a killer tune Brad did on Bikini and Cowboy. I'll show you. Goddamn magic show.
Someday soon we're all gonna die. The Palos is near and hellfire
called Lonely.
When you wake up feeling lonely, when you wake up feeling blue, when you wake up in the morning, remember I love you. When I wake up and I'm 40, when I wake up 53, when I wake up and I'm dying, will you still love me? Will you still love me? Will you still love me?
Hell yeah. I just thought of an intro for the show. Hey, this is Ryan with Love the Work. We write 150 songs a year. This is our recording process. It's engaging, right? Grabs the attention. Oh yes. Oh yes, my friends. We write 50 to 100. Villain. Man, I'm not going to keep this on the list. You're going to see me delete this off the list right now because we didn't write this song. The great Oliver Tree wrote this song. So, I've got to take it off the list. However, we did write the rest of them, I promise. Happy Home. Hell yeah. I was listening to Second Breakfast the other day, or I was looking at it, and there's 9 songs, and they're in 3 groups of 3. The first 3, Happy Home, What Fools Do, Purple is 3, and then New, Babus, and Blood is 3. Tip to Toe, Smile, in the end. Oh, there's 8 songs. So the last 2 are different. So the first 3 are like pretty standard, what I typically write. Standard tuning, acoustic guitar. The next 3 are ones that are, it is 9. The next 3, I guess it's not really divided evenly into 3s. But New is like, geez, it's not like I thought at all. It's not like I thought at all. I guess the first, 3 of them, Happy Home, What Fools Do, and Babus are like pretty standard, what I would typically write. Acoustic guitar, C chords, A minor chords. New was a much darker song I wrote in Texas on my 7-string guitar. It's over there, I don't have it behind me, but with very dark low chords, cool harmonies, very close mic'd vocals, and very dark sound. But then Blood and Tip to Toe Smile were ones I wrote in an open G tuning that I got from Brad. In fact, that last song we played, Lonely, is in a similar tuning, I think. It might even be the same tuning. And so I wrote a few songs in that tuning that I really liked. And then the last two songs, The One and The End, are kind of like the expanding out songs. They're like outside what I typically would do. The One was like almost like a doo-wop type of song, and The End was had electronic drums. It was like I think I played it on Monday, but it was like I don't know. It's different than what I had typically done at that point. So I thought that the album was kind of divided up into these sections, but whatever. How the fuck did I get on that topic? I picked Happy Home. Happy Home is the original song, the first song I should say, and I borrowed a guitar for that. I borrowed the Garth Brooks model Takamine. It's the one that he's seen that has the cutout in the middle. Instead of being a circle, it's shaped like the guitar. Very cool. Very cheeky. But it has this nice sound. It has a cedar top. I was really into cedar tops at that time because they were kind of warmer, not as bright as a spruce, which is what you're going to find on 90% of acoustic guitars. And tuned it down to C sharp standard, and played this finger picking thing. I wrote it on. I'm sure I wrote it on my Schecter actually, when I moved here to LA. I think my dad sent me the Schecter soon after I moved here. And that might have been maybe the first thing I wrote on that guitar, actually. It's, is it in tune? Yeah, let me grab it. It's kind of a cool thing that bounces off of open strings. So it's this cool thing, and when I recorded it, I'm pretty sure I recorded it in C sharp standard, which I've been using that tuning ever since. This guitar specifically almost always stays in C sharp standard tuning. It's just a fun, dark, deep tuning, especially when you get to the low chord, the low open chord. Instead of an E, it's a C sharp. And what I was usually doing in those days was like recording an acoustic track with my vocal at the same time. And a lot of times I'd have to record the vocal on another vocal on top of it to kind of get the vocal up, because usually I would sing too quietly or play guitar too loud, depending on how you look at it. Which I'm guessing is what I did on that song. I'm going to take a listen and see. But nothing fancy, just a acoustic and a vocal.
Recreate a calm.
Going for harmony, I guess.
That is safe.
Actually, you can hear the vocals pretty good.
From the world, from outside, for sale. From outside, for sale.
guitar part, and I loved going down to that low register on the part. And I don't know, I probably wasn't happy with how it sounds, because, you know, when I'm sitting there with a guitar in my lap and I'm playing and I play that, you feel that low end, and it's really an experience. But when I recorded it, it didn't sound like that. And it's funny because I'm thinking now, like, I'm working with Craig Long, and I'm thinking he would know how to make that low end like an experience and an event. So it's funny hearing it now and thinking I probably wasn't happy with how it came out on the recording, but nowadays I think we could get that sound. If I couldn't, at least, you know, I'm working with people who could. 06 track 6, Baduda. This is one of my favorite songs from Casey. I'll play it and then I'll play my version, even though I know I did this on the last show. Nobody's watching, so who cares? It's my show. But he took a bunch of Sinatra lyrics, or at least so it sounds like, and pieced this whole song together. But when I recorded it, I loved the harmonies that I did. I did just one harmony track. I sang the main part with guitar, same as Casey did, or the best I could. And then I recorded a harmony vocal. And I learned a lot about harmony making that recording, because when I think of a harmony, I think of putting a third on top of a thing. You know, it's the easy button, and it's also the simple way to understand it. But I think it's a very rudimentary way to understand it, and a very limiting way. You know, you put a third on top of it, or you put a fifth on top of it. And that a lot of times that works, and a lot of times that's the thing you want to do. You know, or you put an octave. But it's a simplistic way to think about harmony. And when I was writing harmony for this song, I was starting to realize that it wasn't that simple, because a third on top of what he was doing, or a fifth, didn't sound good, you know, or an octave, it just sounded boring. And there was a lot more that I wanted to do and that I wanted to hear by using the harmony. And so when I started to write the things note by note, every time I would hit a spot, I would have to find a different note. And so one of the first harmonies in the song is it's a sixth, it's a third below. And my little stupid brain was just like exploded by that idea, because I thought that harmony had to be these certain basic things, you know. So I definitely learned a lot about harmony while I was creating that part. So this is Casey's version, featuring his fountain in the background.
Wouldn't go out of my head over you. Your witchcraft and your strange brew have thrilled me and filled my heart the whole night through. Still I'm waiting till I'm with you.
That's Casey's version. I'll play the version I recorded. This is the version I recorded, and you'll hear the harmony that I did.
Why then go out of my mind over you?
So a lot of that is a third below what I'm doing, what his melody was.
Your witchcraft and your strange brew have thrilled me and filled my heart the whole night through. Still I'm waiting till I'm with you.
Love this.
Why then go out of my head over you? The September of my years is through.
This down.
Night and day, day and night, you with me I'd be fine if I had it my way.
Kind of tight.
Dear, you'd be mine. Strangers in the night from a start. There's no reason why being so shy should keep us apart. Do 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 do. Why then go out of my mind over you? Your witchcraft and your strange brew have thrilled me and filled my heart the whole night through. Still I'm waiting till I'm with you.
When I got to the bridge where it says "Strangers in the Night," I didn't like any of the tight harmonies, and so I went down to an octave. But I like how it kind of plays its way up until it rejoins the other harmony and creates this nice little tight chord. Harmony's great, man. Brian Wilson writes amazing harmony. The guys from Chicago write amazing harmony. Yeah, baby. And it's interesting because my understanding of it is so limited that there are tons of other people who write great harmony that I don't even realize, and I don't even appreciate on that level because it goes right over my head. I don't even realize that it's there. You know, I'm sure. I know that. My Old School by Steely Dan has these great harmonies. I remember trying to sing along with it once, and I couldn't find the note. They're doing this big chord on the My Old School, and I couldn't find the note because I don't want to say just because I'm a moron, but it's like I couldn't hear what there was. It seems to me there was so much going on, and maybe there wasn't. Maybe it's literally just a major chord, and they're playing the 1-3-5. But for some reason, it kind of frazzled and confused my brain, and I couldn't find that chord. So I imagine they write pretty good harmonies, and I wonder how much they wrote them and how much the vocalists they brought in wrote them. I wonder. But my point is, my understanding of harmony in terms of like vocal harmonies and horn parts is fairly limited. It's pretty rudimentary. But it's something that fascinates me. I love to explore it lately. There's these top string chords that they print in the back of the Jamie Ebersold guitar books, and this guy Mike DeLitto made this breakdown of the different chord types: minor chord, seventh chord, major chord. And he lists 5 voicings of each that you play on the top strings of the guitar. So when you learn guitar, you learn chords down here. All the chords are down on the bottom because they're big and they're full, and they carry the music. They carry not only the bass but also the treble and everything in between. But I was always kind of fascinated with chords that are up high. Not fascinated enough to actually learn very much of them. I was always very limited in that regard. The ones I learned were like in the middle. I had, that's nice. I had a jazz book that taught me a bunch of those chords that were in the middle. But that can get into the register of the bass. You know, the bass is gonna get all the way to here anyways. And that can get in there and interfere a little bit, and especially if you're throwing in a soloist or a vocalist or another whole harmony instrument. So there's this sheet of all these chords that are just on the top strings. And the thing that fascinated me about it was the amount of color that's there, and there's rules, but to my limited understanding, it was like looking at it and thinking, oh my God, there's no rules. You look at a minor chord, and they're playing every note in the scale. You know, it's like you look at a minor chord like a G minor, and so they're going to show you like this voicing, which has a 7, 3, 5, 9. Nothing too crazy. It's got a 7 and a 9. They're going to show you this chord, which is also for G minor. So that's got the G, it's got the 1, the 11, the 7, and the 3. They're going to show you this chord, which has got the 5, the 1, the 11 again, and the 7. And I'm just like, there's so many. You can do this one, which is the, what is that? 9, the 5, the 1, the 11. And I'm just like, holy crap. If somebody told me G minor, I would play this or this. You know, there wasn't that many options. So to just see this sheet where any chord could be just it could be anywhere on the neck. You could play that chord, and you're playing not only the 1, 3, and the 5, but you're playing the 7, you're playing the 9, you're playing the 11, you're playing all the notes in the scale. And so I started to play with those chords, and of course, at first, a lot of them sounded very funny. You know, like that to me doesn't sound like G minor, you know. But the more I played with them and found context for those things, I find that you can use them, and you can color with those chords. And guys like Jim Hall and lots of really good players would do that. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. And so I started composing with those a little bit more, and it's fun when you're in the studio because you can write at your own pace and you can try things out, and if they don't work, it's no biggie. If you're on stage and you try a chord that doesn't work, it's more of a big deal. You know, people might lose the vibe. You know, you might piss off somebody in the band or people in the audience. But when you're in the studio, you can try things out and you can experiment until you get it right. So with Kiss First, that we're just wrapping up now, at the end, there's a section with a wide open solo section, and so I wanted to paint certain parts of it with those chords, and so I wrote this part that is all those chords, and in an effort to imply a different harmony over the chords of what was going on. And I'm really happy with how it came out, to be honest. So I'll share that with you, and also because I can't stop listening to it. I just love how it came out. So I'm going to skip the intro. go right to the meat.
I'd rather kiss first.
You'll hear it in the bright sounding guitar.
And ask questions later.
And it's so fun because when you have all those chords, you can write a part that goes from the bottom of the instrument up, or you can move down, but when you only are using a couple G minor chords, there's only so much you can do, when you're only using those consonant chords. Sure, you can still find basic voicings that are moving, but when you include all those other color notes in there, the 9, the 7, 11, now you can do such more interesting things. Let me grab the arrangement. I'll play it for you. So the progression was C minor, E flat, A flat, E flat, C minor, A flat, A flat, E flat. That's the first couple measures you see. So that's the progression that goes throughout the whole thing. So I wanted to harmonize it 3 different ways. So at first it's the original, then it's a variation, and then the third one is another variation. So I wanted to use the top string chords and the other guitars to imply those other chords. So if you hear what I'm doing at the beginning is like, what is it? It's like 8 and 10. The other thing is, before I play it, a lot of the chords are the same, and they can imply multiple chords. What I mean is, so E flat, you can use this, but you can also call this A flat. So if you're talking about E flat, this is the 1, the 5, the 6, the 13, and the that's the 13, and that's the 2. So the 6, the 9, the 5, the 1. So E flat. But if you call it A flat, it's still A flat, which is crazy, because then it's the 3, the 9, the 3, the 13, the 9, and the 5. So it's like I can stay on this chord and imply not only E flat but also A flat, and I can also imply a C minor with the same chord. Now those are the 3 chords of the progression: C minor. Those are the 3 chords of the progression. I can use the same voicing, these same 4 notes, to imply any one of those 3 chords, which is just so fun, so mind-blowing to me. So anyways, this is the arrangement that I played and wrote. Can I stop on that? I didn't play it well because this guitar's so hard to play. And then at the end, when it's moved to another progression that I wrote, it's like this. But it's just so fun because you can create so much motion with these voicings and still imply the harmony, still kind of color within the lines. So insanely fun. I don't remember what got me on that, but just insanely fun, you know. I'm just so grateful that that's what I get to do as a musician, you know, is I get to explore those things and not only explore the chords, but then write the solos that try to imply that harmony. You know, it's so exciting. I'm so grateful to be able to do that and play that role in life. No vegetables. This is another fun one with harmonies, but it's a very basic song. You know, it's a 3-chord song with that extra 1 chord. But when I recorded the vocals, I did like 10 takes of the main vocal, and then I did 10 takes of a particular harmony. It's probably a third, and then I did 10 takes of another harmony, which is I think a fifth on top of that. But on the final resolution, like I said, sometimes those thirds or fifths don't sound good with the harmony. You know, sometimes the melody is doing something that's a little interesting, and when you add something interesting on top of that and something interesting on top of that, it's too interesting. It's too colorful, maybe for the vibe and for the context. And so you have to kind of pivot at those points and find something else that works and that is not too exciting for the context. So on the last note of the chorus, it's this high note that is kind of the crescendo. And I remember recording the harmonies and having to find this other note and having to pivot and find this other place to go, and having my mind not understand what was going on, which is a transcendent experience because it goes beyond my understanding. And I hear this chord and I'm just like, wow. You know, instead of going, oh, that's a C chord, or oh, that's a third, it just makes me go, wow, because I don't know what it is, you know, which is a fun experience, especially when you can do it for yourself. You know, you can create that experience for yourself when you're composing and when you're recording. But here's No Vegetables. I'll show you at the end.
You can
What that chord sounds like.
scraps, 'cause life is plentiful. You can build an empire or a soup kitchen. You can have the scraps, 'cause life is infinite. One man's trash is another man's mission. Soup made from bones, boil it down, no vegetables.
You know, I still don't know what that chord is. I don't have the heart to look because I like the mystery of it.
You can have the scraps, 'cause life is infinite. One man's trash is another man's mission. Soup made from bones, boil it down, no vegetables.
So fun. So fucking fun. Even though I have different titles for my shows, like recording process, song, song breakdown, etc., I wind up talking about the same things. It's just more excuse for me to talk about these fun things that I love. Made to Care. Let me play it first, and then I'll talk about it afterwards. Super fun. Billy wrote the bass line for that. I played on this guitar, the Harmony. I love the sound of that guitar so much. It's what I recorded my solo on, Kiss First. I played that earlier. Just a fantastic sounding guitar. It only has the one pickup, so you only get kind of that darker sound, but the tone is just so good. But I feel like I actually might have recorded guitar on that one first, because if I don't know how, if I knew the song well enough to play it on drums without the guitars, but maybe I did. But they gel together really well, the drums and the guitar. And the bass line is written by Billy, thankfully. And he recorded it on another song for me called Bitch. When I originally wrote the progression, I sent it to Billy. He recorded the bass, and that's the part that he wrote. This wonderful, wonderful bass part. Climbing and ascending, and it's all offbeat and woozy and oozy. And I recorded it on this song. Unfortunately, I couldn't get him to actually record it on the song. But I love the little flute part. I'll show you my flute. It's actually a penny whistle. It's a little tin whistle in the key of D. And my Aunt Tony gave me this one year for Christmas. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is crazy. And I remember just being like, playing it in my bedroom and being so embarrassed, because it's like, I sounded so bad. But that's kind of part of the joy of music is being bad and like trying to get better and putting yourself out there and just sucking, and it's all part of it, you know. And so at the beginning of that song there's that flute piece, which, you know, is not in the key of the song. It's weird, it's off key, but it's just, that's kind of what's cool about it. And nice guitar solo on the telly. I played direct out of my little Roland Cube amp I have behind me, and nice bright spanky tone. And then there's a little keyboard break as well, fairly short, but just a hell of a fun song. I like that one a lot. Made to Care. Someone else. I think we recorded this at Brad's house in like 2002, 2003, on probably a Tascam 8-track, like a tape recorder. I'm going to look, but I think I have it. I think it's on Tucker Street or something. Tourist. What did I call it? Willis. Yeah, here we go. Dun 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 dun. Someone else, right? Yeah. Oh, there's bass. Awkwardly stops. wonder what bass that is.
To stand in place where I used to be, or someone else.
Fucking shit. I gotta send that to Brad right now. That's crazy. Send copy of file. Holy fuck. Wow. That's fucking crazy. There's that little harmony that he did at the end was sick. And then there's another part where you hear that fifth harmony when he goes to the third part of the progression. Tell you what I can. You know, something like that. That fifth harmony is the perfect thing. You can't write something better.